Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Backstar Boxing. Now, my guy, Jaron Boots Ennis, man. Wild stuff, man. Some people are calling this guy Jaron Wick. Now, if you guys didn't know, man, Jaron Wick, he's talking about John Wick, the movie, where basically, like, it's like a revenge film where, like, someone will kidnap his kid or something like that, and then he'll go on a revenge spree and start killing everyone to get the daughter back. The last one was a wild one. It was where I think they killed his dog or something like that, and then he went in a killing spree. Wild stuff. It's meant to be like a parody type thing, but that was supposed to be the funny part because it's not really about what they took. It's just about the killing part. It's all about the action, right? Now that's what people are calling Boots, and he reposted it on his Twitter account. Man, he says, and I quote, "They really calling me Jaron Wick," and he has the laughing emojis, and I thought it was funny, man. Jaron Boots is one of the more exciting welterweights in the welterweight division. I'll keep it a buck, man. Between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, it looks like they're gonna take care of business first before Boots has a shot, and by the time Boots get a shot, I'm positive Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence are going to be up in a heavier weight class by then. I can easily see Jaron Ennis getting a title by the time the beef is settled with Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, and possibly unifying and becoming undisputed in the welterweight division at this point of his career. Even now, with his skills right now, at the point of his career, he does need to step up. But as far as the eye test, he looks like that guy, man. He looks like that guy. Now, what makes him exciting, I talked about it like a couple days ago. Boots, what makes him exciting as far as outside boxing, the guy's not signed to any promoter. That means he can basically fight anyone. He can fight anybody, and he can't be tied down. People can't say it's hard to make the fight because he's a free agent. Any network can buy Ennis Boots right now. And if they buy Ennis Boots, they're basically buying a superstar. So it's really in Ennis's best interest to stay a free agent, because by the time he gets to that level, when you buy Boots, you're buying a champion, and you're buying a really exciting champion. And the sky is the limit for Jaron Ennis Boots, man. A great fighter, a solid fighter, a knockout artist, a defensive master. A guy can go from orthodox to southpaw. And Jaron Ennis Boots, the guy is from Philly. You dig? A Philly fighter. There's a lot of big dogs in Philly lately, man. You can talk about the old guard like Danny Swift Garcia. What's his name? My boy at 154. God, I can't think of his name right now. The guy that Jamel Charlo knocked out. But that guy was a former unified champion, right? By beating Jarrett Swift Hurd, right? So that all being said, man, there's always been a big talent gap in the Philly area. There's always been dogs over there, man. Those dogs are known for getting down and for getting dirty. You dig? And that guy I meant to say earlier is Julian J. Rock Williams. But all that being said, man, Joe Frazier's in from Philly. I can go on and on naming top Philly fighters, but those guys are the most slickest, dangerous, most rugged fighters you can fight. Those guys are dangerous. I wouldn't want to fight a guy from Philly. Not at the highest level. No way. So, if you actually didn't know, when Rocky was training, he trained out of Philly. They actually have a statue of Rocky in Philly, because that's where he used to train. Philly was known as so aggressive with the boxing and so gritty. They used to like train in the middle of alleys and just have like little rink-a-dink boxing gyms. And Rocky used to train in those little Philly gyms, right? That's how hardcore it was. They based Rocky out of it, right? So yeah, man. That being said, man, we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out with Jaron Boots Ennis. I think he's one of the best fighters in welterweight. I don't see anyone is a young fighters. I think he's the best young fighter right now. I think him and Virgil Ortiz is the closest thing you can get to a competitive fight. But that'd be a fight for the ages, man. You know, a welterweight division does always be the money division, and there's a lot of old guard out there, former welterweight champions that just are knocking on Ennis's door that can be big fights for him. So, do you guys agree with Jaron Ennis's nickname, Jaron WICK Ennis? I think that's a good name, man. Maybe he should carry that name, and because when he beats guys, it does look like a revenge film, man. The veracity on how Ennis has beat guys, it's like he's toying with them. You know how you see like a gunfight, and then, you know, they be fighting each other, and then maybe they start going hand to hand, and the guns fall, and then they start fighting with like a pool table club thing where you hit the balls with, and then they start fighting with like a beer bottle. That's what Jaron Ennis Boots is doing when he fights these guys in the ring. The guy be fighting orthodox, then all of a sudden he's fighting southpaw, then he's fighting you in the inside. He basically uses every tool in the toolbox to beat guys up with. You know, that's the equivalent of fighting with everything, not just your hands, but, you know, with bottles, with anything around you. You know, I think I've seen Ennis Boots hurt people with just about every punch. Right, I seen him hurt guys with straight right, straight left, right hook, left hook from both stances. I seen him throw really, really good body shots, step in body shot. I seen him hurt guys with just about every punch, man. The guy is a phenom, and he's just that guy. He's just that guy, and he has a lot of room to grow. Right, talked about before. He has the body type of Roy Jones Jr. as far as height and reach goes, and he's tall like Roy Jones Jr. So he has a lot of room to fill. You know, the guy has a small walk around weight, and, you know, all he needs to do to get weight, to get bigger, is to eat steak and potatoes, man. You know, eat what you need to eat. You know, I'm not a nutritionist, but I know steak is good meat to get big with. So yeah, man, let me know who you guys want to see him fight next, man. I thought I'd talk about it, man. John Wick Ennis Boots, man. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Let me know you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geobox Empire. Peace.